We're self-employed now. This is our job.
Yeah.
So it was a very fine balance between obviously spending time with the kids and having a holiday, and it's like a working holiday.
Yeah, it is.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we've all been wondering, one and all, what has happened to Ben since he quit his job? Sorry, he lost his job. Sacked from his job? He lost his job anyway, right? Went for a couple of interviews, apparently got one of the interviews, the job he got, and then nothing. We haven't heard anything since. But until now, it's all kicking off. So, without further ado, let's go and find out exactly how these little people have become full-time YouTubers.
Are we working self-employed now, doing social media full-time? That's the main question. And the answer to that is yes.
Wow, God blimey, guys, you're going to be pimping your kids out full-time now. That is fan-friggin-tastic, I've got to say. I've not felt this warm and fuzzy inside since the last time you decided to open your mouths, Ben. I don't know. I really don't know. That was just shit. Anyway. Warm and fuzzy. Yeah. Sorry, continue, please.
We made the decision. There's a bit of background which I'm going to go into right now. So, going all the way back to the start of when I finished working for Boeing. So I finished working for Boeing in January 31st to be precise.
Well, it's only 5 months, isn't it? It's not too bad just to be lazing around the house. How many job interviews have you had in that time, Ben? 2? 3, possibly? Anybody else can enlighten me how many interviews has he been on in the time that you've been watching his vlogs? 2, maybe? I remember he had 2 at the very beginning, and he apparently got them both, but started neither. Don't know. No.
And then I started looking for work again, and I started to apply for jobs and all the good stuff. So the first job I went for was bus driving, and I couldn't do it in the end for medical reasons, which I'm not going to go into. It just is what it is. And then I started looking for other jobs, and I was going for job interviews. I went for a job interview with Murray Council. But the unfortunate thing is anybody that has been looking for work or looks for work in the public sector and all those sorts of things, or in things like the council, a lot of the times these jobs are earmarked for other people anyway. And they have to advertise the job. Anyway, so I've actually gone for probably 4 or 5 interviews since then. But the last one I went for was pretty much in the bag. But I got an email to say you were picked to the post by somebody else, even though the whole process of going for the 2-hour interview, all the lead up to that, they made it sound like I had the job. This was a job on the base at RAF Lossiemouth. It turned out in the end that they already had somebody for the job, and that was that.
So they told you that you had the job but didn't have the job because they didn't tell you they had the job. What actually happened, Ben? Because I remember very specifically you came out of the job interview and said, I've got the job. Alright? Isn't that the exact words that you said? So at what point during the interview process did they tell you you had the job? Right? Because if they've told you that during the interview and then gone back on their word, that's pretty shitty of them. But on the other hand, if you are kind of making things up, that's pretty shitty of you too. So which one was it, man? Did they tell you or did they not? Did you misconstrue the situation? I reckon it was a misconstrue situation, I reckon.
So that led us to talking, and me and Zoe started to have a chat about where we're going with all of this, looking for work, you know, all this kind of stuff, applying for jobs, and in the end, we both made the decision, didn't we, to just go, do you know what? We are working obviously on YouTube, Facebook as well, and Instagram, and it is generating an income.
Okay, so your Instagram and Facebook, just how much money does that make you exactly? I'm going to wager that it doesn't make you an awful lot of money. You have to be earning, you know, you can make money on Instagram. In fact, it's more lucrative than on YouTube, but you need a lot of followers, you need a lot of engagement, and you need a lot of people willing to throw money at you. But you don't have any of that. But YouTube, okay, so I've crunched the numbers, right, and I'm thinking that you can't do it. I'm sorry, you've got 14 mouths to feed, 5 of which are growing teenagers, right, and 2 adults, right? So just how much money are you making on YouTube in order to feed those mouths? Right, so the way we're going to work this out, right, is based on my own personal revenue, right? Everybody's revenue is different, so there's no exact science behind it. You can probably expect to get anywhere between £4 and £7, I reckon. Sometimes higher at Christmas, maybe £8, something like that. At the moment, for me, it seems to be pretty high, but I'm using my own personal one, which is £6.57, which is what I get every 1,000 views, and that's after YouTube take their cut, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering. And we're going to use that to work out how much money they have been making over the past week, the last 7 vlogs, right, only. And it makes for interesting viewing, so please stay tuned and we're going to find that out now. So keep an eye on the calculator on the right hand side. Their most recent vlog got 7.1 thousand views. If we times that then by the RPM, which is £6.57, that equals £46.64. The next vlog received 5.4 thousand views, times that again by the £6.57, and the running total here is £82.12. The next vlog received 7.6 thousand views, times by £6.57 again, total £132. That's after the last 3 vlogs now. The next vlog, we add that onto it. That was 7,000 views, times that by £6.57. Total now £178. And the next vlog was 7.9 thousand views, times that by 6.57 is £229. And the next one, that's 10,000 views. That was a big job video, right? Times that then by £6.57, and that's £295.65. So the last vlog was 6.6 thousand views, times that by £6.57, and the running total is £339.31. So that £339 is a weekly total. Now we're going to do a tentative guesstimate for their monthly total. So if we times that by 4 weeks, we should get a rough estimate about how much they should receive in the month, basically, and that is £1,357. So guys, comment down below who of you that works, obviously, can survive on 1,307 1,000. Who of you can survive on £1,300 a month? Is that how much you get paid in your job, or is it a little bit more? And they have to feed 14 people off that. That seems a little bit low, if I'm not being too disrespectful, Ben. It seems a little bit low. I realise that's not your only income stream, but it is your main income stream, so good luck with that entirely.
It's generating an income for us, so we both said to each other, well then why don't we do YouTube full time?
We wanted to do it for ages, haven't we?
Absolute ages.
Anybody that is online knows that you've got to be doing it for quite a few, unless you're one of those people that's hit it just with going viral on one thing. You know, that doesn't happen to the majority of people. The majority of people, you have to work at it for quite a few years before you get any kind of income.
Indeed you do, Zoe. Indeed you do. I can see you nodding in the foreground there, Ben. Yes, you know it too, don't you? You know how much you have to pimp out your kids in order to, you know, make it big, isn't it? I know you like to think that it's not just your kids that are but let's be real here. How many people would tune in to watch you two, right? Like Laurel and Hardy, right? No, they wouldn't. But they do tune in to watch your kids, ironically, because let's have a look at this in actual fact, because this is the perfect example of why people tune in to watch your kids. These were all taken from the recent live that they did. This person says, I love the girls' PJs, which, to be honest with you, is a little bit weird, right? But then we have things like, congratulations, Agnes, night flow, you know, wishing your kids a good night, you know? Your kids are going off to bed, and these people, random strangers, they're wishing them good night, you know, have a good night, have a good sleep, guys, you know? It's what you call parasocial relationships, you know. Hi kids, night flow, and then like hearts emojis and stuff like that. It's weird, and you are encouraging this behaviour. Random strangers to have relationships with your own children whom they don't know. Hi Toby, what's your favourite car? None of your business, obviously. Not your child, but, you know, who's to stop you? Hi, Toby, will you be doing some more drone footage for us? Toby, give us the clue. It's parasocial relationships, Ben and Zoe. This is what the problem is. They're not their children. They're not children of the internet. They are your children, right? And I'm sure you will say, oh, but they are our children, so we will do with them as we please, right? I've heard that so many times from influencers of children, right? But they're not for you to do what you want with them. They are your children in order to protect them, and at the moment you are giving them to these people who now claim them as their own. It's very weird.
They call it the grind.
Which obviously we have been, but it's always been, since we've done more and taken it a lot more seriously, it's something that we've wanted to do full time. But obviously you've been at work, so we can't dedicate that time. You know, obviously we have family, everything else. So this was kind of, it pushed us to the decision that we wanted to make anyway, didn't it? It was kind of, we'd been too scared to make that decision because it's quite a big decision, and we've kind of fallen back on having that regular income every month that you get from having a full-time job. But obviously being out of the house at a 9-to-5 job, or whatever, 8 to 3, whatever, means that you can't concentrate 100% on the other thing.
No.
So the decision, it was kind of a decision that was, it was one of those decisions in life that, it wasn't really a decision, to be honest. It's kind of an opportunity.
What opportunity, though? It is an opportunity, right? I have no problem with you going full time on YouTube, right? It's always been Ben's ambition since the first time I ever came across you. It's always been your ambition, Ben, in order to go full time on YouTube, to be a major YouTuber, right? However, it's the pimping out of the children which kind of gets me a little bit sort of irate about it, because they don't deserve it, right? And they don't deserve it. And you can do what you want, right, obviously, but because you've got the 12 children, it draws in the punters, whether those punters are good or bad, you know.
It was there, and sometimes these things happen
for a reason,
and you have to take the opportunity.
Yeah.
It happens for a reason, and we were like, you know, this has happened for a reason. We have to take this opportunity, and we have to give it a go, because at the end of the day, nothing is permanent, and you know, there could be a time when we have to pursue something else, but this is what we want to do, so we decided that we put everything into it. We put all of everything into it, and
it's one of those things. Actually, it's when you've worked your entire life and you've had a job working for other companies, be that the military or whatever it is. When you've had that career and you end up with a pension and all that kind of stuff, which I do have a military pension, which obviously tops up our earnings as well. You kind of are scared. It's a very scary thing to do, is to have that belief in yourself. Because don't get me wrong, we really enjoy everything we do on social media. We enjoy our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, the whole lot. But it was always second to working, and now it's become first.
Oh, but it has become first, hasn't it? Already, in fact, you've only just gone full time, and I'm already seeing a detrimental effect on your children. So this was it during a recent live, and the kids came in to say hello to everybody, and then all of a sudden they shuffle them off to bed, right?
Right, off you go. Off you go. See you later. See you later. Bye. Bye.
they're so tired. Agnes is
They
so
really
tired.
are. Well, it's the last week of school, isn't it? So it is tiring.
They're so tired.
It is tiring. Right. Anyway, moving on.
That's right. They just carried on as per usual. They just carried on without saying goodnight to the kids, not taking the kids up to bed, not putting them to bed, especially the younger ones, not reading them a bedtime story, nothing. Just saying, right, off you go. We're going to carry on with our live now because we've got work to do. We've got to talk to our fans, haven't we? That's more important, isn't it? Isn't it? Apparently.
That's it, you know. So now it's like, right, this is serious now. We are taking this seriously. But to make that leap takes a lot of courage, and we really played on our minds for ages, didn't it?
Especially having you home more.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, and we thought, you know, not just for the sake of what we do, but for the sake of the children as well. I mean, the older ones, obviously, growing up, they spent a lot of time with you being away.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they kind of grew up, with you away.
At 4 months at a time.
But the little ones haven't experienced that.
No.
So it's very different. Their kind of upbringing with you around, it's not that you weren't around or anything like that,
No.
but you know, you did have to go away. I remember Christmases you've been away, birthdays, I think you missed like Olivia's birthday 3 years in a row or something, and she's never forgotten that.
No,
but you know, that was our life then, and we got on with it, and that's what we did because that's what you did. We stuck out the military for the whole time because we have, you know, you have a pension from it. 26 years in the military.
Yeah.
That was our ultimate goal at the end of it, that you would have a pension from it, and that is obviously what we have now.
Yes.
But it was an opportunity that has arisen, and we just thought, do you know what, this is a perfect opportunity, we have to take this.
I love the way you describe Ben's inability to get a job. It's an opportunity, it's not a failure, right? Never consider yourself a failure, Ben. It's an opportunity, right? Opportunity.
And we have to run with it, and we have to make the most of it. But it's scary, especially, you know, when you're not really in control of your earnings, because YouTube Google decide what they do with your earnings. 1 minute you can be earning this much, the next minute you can be earning this much.
Just to clarify, it's nothing to do with Google as to how much you earn. They don't decide what you earn at all. It's the advertisers that do that. It's who advertises and how much they want to spend on it. Google have no control over that. They just facilitate it. I just want to make that well clear, because misinformation is out there in the form of Zoe Sullivan.
This is the thing with, a lot of people don't understand with social media, is you get paid per 1,000 views, but it all depends on what Google are willing to pay at that moment in time, if you know what I mean. So you could be...
Again, it's nothing to do with what Google decides they want to pay you at all. It's not even close. Sorry, it's not. Maybe he's misspoken, I don't know, but it's not, right?
You could be getting paid X per 1,000 views, and then you could be getting paid Y per 1,000 views. And
so I'm by no means an expert, but I can only go by what I've personally experienced over the many years I've been doing YouTube, and basically you get paid more at like in season, basically. So at Christmas, November, December time, you'll get paid more because advertisers are willing to pay more because they want to push their shit out for Christmas presents and stuff like that. And other times of the year, you know, maybe Halloween, I don't know, things like that, right? At the moment, as I said earlier, it seems to be a bit high, in my opinion, for this time of year. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe the summer seasons, they're advertising more for summer clothing. I don't know. But, you know, things like that, right? And then January, February, it takes a slump, right? Like you've never slumped before. It hits you hard, doesn't it, Ben? Doesn't it? Tell him as it is. Those months hit you like a rock, honestly.
then you just see at the end of the month kind of what you've earned and all that kind of stuff, and you make a decision on that. But
wow, sounds like a good way to run a business, Ben. Let's just see what happens at the end of the month and just run with it, shall we? Just hope for the best. Cross the fingers. That's always worked for me as well. Cross those fingers and hope for the best. And hopefully, maybe even close your eyes. And if you wish hard enough money will appear in your account at the end of the month. That has worked on occasion. Maybe it will work for you too, Ben.
You just end up, make it. What we do is just make the content, put the content out there, and then see what happens. To be honest with you, but yeah, it's and the thing is as well, after having that kind of stable income coming in for so long, the other thing that we never wanted to do was to risk our family, risk our situation. So we thought long and hard about it, didn't we? But in the end, it was going for all these job interviews, and the straw that broke the camel's back, is that the saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, was I went for a job interview. That job interview that they basically said I had it in the bag. They wanted me to start, and then all of a sudden somebody else has got it. And I was like, right, that's it. I'm done. I was literally at this job interview for 2.5 hours in my full rig, and I thought I've had enough. The main
thing for you is you've worked at a career for a really long time.
Yeah.
But obviously nowadays, especially in the public sector, a degree counts more than 26 years of experience. It does, unfortunately.
Whoa. Don't be telling that to Chris Ingham, because he tells me, right? He tells me that a degree counts for fuck all, right? He says it's all in the matrix. You got to get out of the matrix. You can't stay in the matrix. You can't go to college. You can't go to university because degrees count for nothing. But what Zoe is telling me here is that a degree is worth more than experience. Fuck, I've been lied. I feel like I've been lied to. I do.
And that's just the way it is. Not in like other sectors, but in the public sector, it's still kind of, you could walk out with, which is great for people that have got degrees, youngsters coming out of, but I know plenty of youngsters coming out of uni that also can't get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there was plenty of other things that you could have gone for or something, but we just thought, what, it feels like.
Do those plenty of other jobs that he could have gone for include things like Asda and, supermarkets and stuff like that, right? Because I feel like Ben hasn't tried his hardest. He's gone for a few jobs. He's gone for ones which he wants, basically, not ones that he needs. Most people in his situation would go for anything, You know, need to put food on the table for my 12 starving kids, that sort of situation. But it doesn't seem like Ben was trying all that hard. Now, I'm not critical of everybody who's unemployed, right? I know there's a job crisis. I know there's a lot of competition out there to get jobs. I'm not suggesting that you can just walk into a job or anything like that. But I'm just saying that sometimes you have to lower your expectations because of needs must sort of situation, right?
This opportunity
this is the
has
time
come
for us
to us.
to give it a go.
You didn't.
Definitely.
Your heart wasn't in having to go back to work, especially after being able to do so much more on YouTube. Go back to work for a job that you didn't really want to be at, just to earn money that you could be earning if we put our all into everything we're doing at home.
Yes,
if that makes
definitely.
sense.
But also the difference that it's made to Joseph is phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's been
having you at
brilliant.
home.
Like,
and Florence
going
as
up,
well.
yeah, and Florence, going out for little walks with him, and while the other kids are at school and all that kind of stuff. It's been absolutely priceless. It's been really, really good, isn't it? It's been
also,
that kind of side of it.
You know, I mean, we're still contemplating
Homeschooling
Joseph.
That'll be another vlog.
But it gives us the opportunity to do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have older children who also want to get involved, and not because we're making them, because I'm sure this vlog will be torn apart by people. But
who on earth would dare tear your vlogs apart? Zoe, how very dare you? Right? As for your older children getting involved, how old are these children that we're talking about? Because obviously the older ones, yes, they can consent to it. No problem with that whatsoever. If they want to do it, they can do it, you know. But like the younger ones, they can't consent to it, and you know they can't. And yet you'll still put them out there, and you'll still flog them to the highest bidder, which is not good, is it? It's not cool, it's not big, it's not clever, you know that.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm not really bothered. This is ultimately our decision, and it's an exciting.
Yes,
it's scary. Exciting. It's really scary, and I know there'll be plenty of people who have something to say about it. But I also know there'll be plenty of people that are really happy for us and really behind us.
And I wanted to touch on that actually. The community that we've built around YouTube and Facebook is just absolutely fantastic.
Sorry.
Are you alright there, Zoe?
I was uploading a post and it's not uploading, and I just pressed the button.
See what I mean? This is switching to social media.
And that's Zoe, who is, she's right in this now, isn't she? She's also doing some, like a side hustle, if you will. You know, if you would like to sign up to her Patreon, she's got that on the go. They put up this post the other day. It said, "Morning everyone, and this is the link to our new venture over on Patreon. This is a totally new thing for us, and I'm sure we still have a lot to learn, but we would love for you to join us on this journey. Come on over, get involved, and tell us what you would like to see." Lots of hearts going on there, isn't there, Zoe? Very many hearts. Okay, so let's have a look at this Patreon, shall we? So it's called 1 Dozen Wonders, Life as a Mum of 12. And for the measly fee of just £5 per month, you can get Zoe in your inbox. It's brilliant, isn't it? She says, "Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 45 years old, soon to be 46, but we won't talk about that. And we now live in the north of Scotland, although we are originally from Cornwall. I'm a mum to 12 amazing children ranging from aged 2 to 19 and married to my wonderful husband Ben. We've been married for 19 years and have 9 girls and 3 boys, which equals 5 teens, 2 preteens and 5 under 8s. We have 2-year-old Florence, 5-year-old Joseph, 7-year-old Agnes, 8-year-old identical twins, and 11-year-old, 12-year-old, blah, blah. We have lots and lots of kids, alright, with different names. You'd think we'd have parenting nailed. No, we don't. But we are still learning every day. Most days, I'm still wondering whether I'm doing adulting correctly or not. Join me for all the ins and outs and ups and downs of large family life, parenting toddlers to teens, some body confidence chats, general ramblings of my mind, some inspirational quotes, and all things mental health. Oh, and I love some storage ideas as well. Of course you do, right? Buy some storage boxes. Zoe, get some storage boxes. Okay, so that is their Patreon. It's £5. Well, I say £5 a month. It's plus VAT. I know, £6 a month in actual fact, right? So that is what they're doing. I've no problem with Zoe doing that because it looks from the outset that it is going to be just her on her own, not involving her kids, although that may change, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. I am not taking one for the team on this one. I'm not paying £6 in order to have a look just yet, Zoe, so don't get too cocky, right? If you step out of line, I'll be right in there. Honestly, I've done it before. I've paid for various fucking different YouTubers. It's a pain, right? It costs money. I don't want to do it. Anyway, right, yeah, so you can do that if you want to do it. It's completely on you. Just bear in mind, though, if you didn't have the 12 kids, you wouldn't have got the opportunity in order to get the 34 extra paying guests right now. 34 guests, by the way, at £5 a month is just over 150, so £170, right? So that's extra for monthly for what they're on top of what they're getting. So, you know, extra income is important at the moment for them.
And the thing is as well, we're actually working harder now than I think we've ever worked, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's like, you know, we went away on holiday last week, and everybody sort of said to us, you know, just take, you know, why don't you take the week off? Because we can't. We're self-employed now. This is our job.
Yeah.
So it was a very fine balance between obviously spending time with the kids and having a holiday, and it's like a working holiday.
Yeah, it is.
Are you listening to yourselves? Are you actually listening to yourselves? What you're saying is that you went away for a week, was it? To this little jaunt. We'll get into that in a second. But you went away. It was not a holiday, though. It was a working holiday. You couldn't take the week off because, you know, you were working. What does that say about your kids? Because do you realise, and I think that a lot of people don't realise, especially family vloggers, they don't realise, is that when the parents are working on these holidays, right, the kids are also working, because the kids work for the channel, right? If it wasn't for the kids, you wouldn't have the channel, etc, etc. So when you say that you couldn't take the week off, your kids didn't even have a holiday. They didn't even have a holiday. They went away on what they thought was a holiday, but no, they had to work. Do you realise how sick that actually is? Speaking of the holiday, you couldn't even let it go for a week and not reveal the wonders of where it was that you went away to. Not only did you tell everyone where you were, you told them the exact lodge that you went to, the exact location you were going to be staying in for a whole week. Do you not realise how dangerous that actually is?
We're staying down in the Cairngorms, not too far outside of Arrymore, which is a place that we absolutely love. We've decided to try a different lodge this time, and this is where we're staying. This is the Mountain Bear Lodge, really.
It is.
But
you do it around what you're doing, don't you?
We've been doing it long enough now to be able to not impact. I mean, you see half an hour in snippets of our day. You know, there's 24 hours in a day. There's plenty of time. Like every evening we were in, like, outside in the hot tub with the kids, the older ones, things like that. We saw everything, Zoe. We saw everything because Ben filmed absolutely everything and uploaded it to social media, because why the hell wouldn't you upload it to social media to show everybody exactly what you were up to on a day-to-day basis? In fact, where you were on a day-to-day basis, wasn't it? Like this hot tub shot. Hey guys!
Happy Monday!
Right, so I just want to point out, although you can't actually see it because I blurred it out, that those kids in there are burnt to a crisp, right? Their arms are really red raw for being in the hot tub like they are. They really shouldn't be in the hot tub for extended periods of time anyway. kids cannot regulate their body temperature the way that adults can, so, you know, minimize it. You know, I don't understand why people can't get this point, but apparently they don't care, don't know. But anyway, the kids are really red. Also, by the way, don't be showing your children in the state of the undress. So, you know, just saying, you know, you don't know who's watching.
From the beautiful Mountain Bear Lodge here in the Cairngorms National Park.
Oh, did you catch it? Did you catch exactly where they were? In case you missed it, guys, this is exactly where they are.
Mountain Bear Lodge here in the Cairngorms National Park.
Bear in mind, this was uploaded in real time, so when they say this is where we are, this is exactly where they are right at that particular moment.
We're just enjoying the hot tub this morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, they're in the hot tub. What do you think about that?
Cool.
I know, right? So we went to the Highland Wildlife Park yesterday, which was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
And we saw polar bears, wildcats, all the good stuff that they've got there. We learned a lot about wildlife. Who's turned the bubbles off? Who turned the bubbles off? Today we're going to go to Loch Garton, which is an RSPB wildlife centre.
I'm sorry, Ben, I might have misheard. Where exactly are you going to be on that particular day after you've uploaded that?
Today we're going to go to Loch Garton, which is an RSPB wildlife centre.
Wow, meet you there, shall we? What can I say? What is stupidity, isn't it?
We're going to go there. It's only going to cost us £20 as well. It's really, really cheap. So you'll have the Highland Wildlife Park vlog up tonight at 6 o'clock, guys. You'll have the RSPB Wildlife Park that we're going to today. That vlog will be up tomorrow night. So we're really looking forward to going there today and see what it's like. We've never been there before.
Tomorrow we're going to Landmark.
We are. Anyway, guys.
Oh, and if that wasn't enough, you know exactly where they're going on that particular day. But tomorrow they're going to Landmark as well. So look that one up, and you'll all go there as a meet and greet to see the Sullivan family. Ben would be a delight, I'm absolutely certain. Maybe get a selfie or two with him. But yeah, that is how safe they are being with their kids whilst on holiday, whilst making money out of their kids. You couldn't make it up, could you?
Plenty of things that go on that we don't put online. But ultimately, if you were out at a job and I was out at a job, we'd be gone 8 hours each a day.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
So you kind of have to weigh up the fact that, yes, we're doing social media.
Yes.
We're on holiday doing social media, but equally, we're there with our children.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but you're not thinking about this correctly, Zoe. It's your children who are also working. You're not just there with your children whilst you are working. You are working with your children. Your children are working for you, and they are supposed to be on their holidays, right? You take a week off. Most people would take a week off if they were going on a holiday. They wouldn't say, right, kids, we're going to go away for a week, but as an added bonus, you're going to have to, you know, pull your fingers out, because we can't work on this on our own. You know, if you don't make the money, then we can't have these holidays, right? That's how that conversation would go, and it's very sad, to be honest.
we're not having to go out, even though we're having to work like you work in the evenings.
Yes, I do.
You edit in the evenings,
Yeah.
which means, yes, you know, for that amount of time, normally when the little ones have gone to bed, you're busy.
Yeah.
But equally, you're still here.
Yes.
Something goes wrong, or I need you, or whatever, or the kids need you, you're there.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And that's, you know, I've always been, ever since we've had children, I've been able to be a stay-at-home mum, and that's always been really important to me. I know lots of people feel differently. Some people want to go back to work, some people have to go back to work.
And there's nothing wrong in that.
I wish, yeah, there isn't.
all.
There's nothing wrong in any of it.
No.
All this business between, you know,
We're all just trying to
working
do our
mums and
best.
stay-at-home mums. I'm sure there's plenty of people I know that have had children and need to go back to work for themselves, and that's, you know, that's great. I never wanted to do that. I worked from when I was 16 right up until we had Elizabeth, full-time jobs, and I didn't have a career as such, like many people work to be, you know, have a really good career. I was admin, did a bit of this, did a bit of that. So
Don't worry, Zoe. We've got you covered. Now, having not had a career, you are now reduced to some sort of CBBC style shout outs on your lives in some incredible twist of fate.
Oh no, so Catherine Gillespie, you're 48. I think it's your daughter told me that. And hello to Kirsty, Catherine, Brianna, and Bailey. Happy birthday, Ava, who is 13. And that's from Grandies, Shirls, and Kevo.
Ah, happy birthday.
Yep, that actually did happen. That actually happened. I was I was sat here, mouth aghast with like, what the fuck am I watching? Seriously? They actually did birthday shout outs. Wow. Honestly. I don't know what they think they are. Some sort of CBBS thing. Right, so yeah, there you go. The Sullys are now on the task of everything social media. So be prepared, be wary, be watchful, because Zoe Sullivan might be trying to slide in your DMs at some point. You know, you don't want that, do you? Until next time, please give this video a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, have a brilliant day, take care, and bye-bye.